Bills eligible for third read enactment, CB-42, an ordinance concerning application, preparation, submission, review procedures, and decision standards for the purpose of amending certain definition and amending pre-application requirements to require applicants to demonstrate proposal conformance with applicable master plans, amending pre-application procedures to allow applicants to hold informational consultation with relevant council members, amending pre-application procedures to make neighborhood meeting notices publicly searchable, amending pre-application procedures to allow neighborhood meeting participants to become persons of record, amending certain development applications submittals requirements to demonstrate the proposal conformance with applicable master plans, and amending the decision standards for approval of detailed site plan and special exception application to include master plan consistency as required standard for site plan approval. Sponsors are Dernoga, Blagay, Oriata. Is there a motion to enact?
Mr. Chairman, I think we have a motion for an amendment number 2. Is that correct, Mr. Irving?
Is there a motion for an amendment?
I move the amendment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Irvin, would you like to go through the amendment?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. There are four minor amendments. The first is on page 3, line 24. This makes the public engagement plan discretionary. So on page 3, line 24, we're striking the word shall and substituting the word may. The next amendment is a clarification in the special exception section. So on page 6, line 11, we're striking the phrase detailed site plan and replacing that with special exceptions site plan. The third amendment is to make sure that the language around conformance findings are consistent throughout the bill. So on page 6, line 30, we're striking the phrase starting with the comma and the growth policy map as it relates to centers in the 2014 general plan Prince George's 2035. And so that leaves every reference to the conformance simply to conformance to the master plans and sector plans. And so that's striking that extraneous language. And the final amendment is to add the standard severability clause. So this is on page 8, line 1, simply adding a section 2 that has the standard severability language that we have in every bill, and making section 2 now section 3.
All right. On the amendments, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt, but what I wanted to ask is it possible for us to pass this to have the Office of Law review the amendments as to whether or not they're substantive?
Madam Clerk, on the amendments?
Chair Burrows.
Aye.
Ms. Adams Stafford.
Aye.
Ms. Blagay.
Aye.
Mr. Dernoga.
Aye.
Ms. Fisher.
Abstain.
Mr. Harrison.
Abstain.
Ms. Ivy.
Aye on the amendment.
Mr. Olson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oyetha.
Aye.
Ms. Watson.
Abstain.
Motion carries 7-0-3.
Is there a motion to enact?
Motion to enact.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, we'll record Ms. Blagay as the second. Chair Burrows.
Abstain.
Ms. Adams Stafford.
Aye.
Ms. Blagay.
Aye.
Mr. Dernoga.
Pass.
Ms. Fisher.
I abstain.
Mr. Harrison.
I abstain.
Ms. Ivy.
Abstain.
Mr. Olson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oyetha.
I'm voting aye. I just want to thank Councilmember Dernoga for your work on this. I know it's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of negotiating, and I think it's important that we find a way to make sure that our residents can trust the process, but we find a balance with not stifling development. So I just thank you for your leadership and willingness to work on this legislation.
Ms. Watson.
Abstain.
Mr. Dernoga?
In explaining my vote, I first want to thank, in particular, the Vice Chair, who's really worked with me and supported this bill and tried to make it much more fair. I also want to thank Ms. Blagay, who's a co-sponsor, and Councilmember Adam Stafford. We not only did she work on the bill, we combined one of her bills into this bill. CB-42 Draft 1 was intended as a simple measure to ensure that master plans developed as part of a broad public process finally have meaning. It was identical to CB-3 of 2023 that we passed overwhelmingly before we repealed it last year, or the council repealed it. The public's long been dissatisfied with development in this county. In my first term back, some council members and I held virtual town hall meetings about development with significant public participation. In 2023, what we call the People's Council held a town hall meeting on development right here, and that was well attended. Support for stronger controls of development, and especially master plan consistency, was widespread. This public support extends far beyond the activists that we see here on a regular basis. This concept and better development has a broad public support. Now, November has become my least favorite month. Most years that I've been on the council, strong bills to address development sprawl, protect the environment, have come up one vote short time and again on the last day of the legislative session. I especially remember my bill to strengthen stormwater management requirements. It too died on the last day of 2010. I argued that the county taxpayers would have to pay the cost of poor stormwater management. Ultimately, the county has been hit with a $1 billion obligation for cleaning up the mess left by weak standards. Developers and their lawyers will control the development process, and they make sure that it works for them, not the county taxpayers. As for CB-42, in June, the county executive team asked me to hold the bill in committee. We did that. In July, they asked me again to hold the bill through the summer. Chair Burrows told the county executives team to negotiate because the bill will be moving. We had a number of meetings and conversations that got us to the point where there was agreement, and the county executive recommended approval of the bill at the September 18th PHED meeting. But at the time of introduction on October 7th, the CEX team brought new issues that had never been discussed. We made amendments to address those issues, except for one that would have gutted the bill. And last week, the CEX team brought new species issues for which we have an amendment sheet that we just voted on. But none of the issues are the real issue. The county executive reneged on an agreement negotiated in good faith. Apparently, the county executive and many of the council members are satisfied with the development that we've seen for decades. So the more things change, the more they stay the same. I vote aye, and the bill fails.
Motion fails 5-0-5.
No.
Is there